Hello everyone, this is Tal Golden with the Deep Zone where symbol and number meet the heart and mind. I'm going to be talking about something that is going to meet the heart and mind tonight in a troubling way. Now lately, Zach Hubbard has come up with a date that looks like could be the day that the world's elite attempt to blow up the Dome of the Rock and rebuild the Third Temple. I mean, the funding is already in order. They're already practicing the sacrifices. That's the only thing, maybe a few other details that stands in the way of this group, the Freemasonic Zionists. I'm not talking about all the Jews by any step of the imagination. All the people that are doing this really aren't even Jews. They're from all nationalities. But they have sold themselves out. They sold us out. And it's time to put an end to it. And we don't have a whole lot of time here on the show. So let's go ahead and get started. What I've discovered is that the date, August 11th, 2019, syncs up incredibly with another date from history that is not really known a whole lot because it's been kept, I guess, kind of quiet. I don't really know why I've been allowed to stumble upon this, but here it goes. But if you back up to May 7th, 1873, that takes you back 146 years and 96 days. 146 years. Now, why is that important? 146. Well, it made me start thinking about something that Zach said the other day. Now, see, when you take your gematria calculator right here, you see where it's at, gematria.com. Anybody can do this. Watch what happens here. Jesus Christ. In reverse ordinal, which is simply taking the order of the alphabet and assigning a number to a letter. In this case, since it's reverse, you're going to start with Z being 1, A being 26. When you do that, you add up all the letters, it's 146. And I think that's that may be also a cue, a symbol for, like I said, for the world's elite to bring something on us that has to do something with the Antichrist, because in Revelation, as we know, that is one of the things that's supposed to happen is the building of a new temple. The Antichrist is supposed to enter the temple and proclaim himself as God, and the whole shooting match goes on from there. But anyway, so I thought 146. There's something about that number that it looks like any other number when you first look at it. But watch what happens when I type in May 7th. All right, we're going right. Okay, May 7th, 1873. We get 146 in full reduction. And now what full reduction means is where you take the alphabet, and it's like from A would be 1, Z would be 26. But when you get to the numbers where there's a double digit at 10 on from up there, you take those numbers and reduce them to one number, to what's called a digital root, or its numerological number. When you do it like that, you come up with the number 146. Now, if that's not enough of a sync, if you look back over on the other side where it says the full reverse right here, let me get my little mouse right here, the day, August 11th, leaves 142 days left in the year. And it's also, ominously enough, the 223rd day of the year. As we know, we've been studying this and everything. For those of you that are initiated in this knowledge, 223, that's a big number. But let's move along here and let's take a look at it some more, because 146 has another clue to tell us. When you type in birth of the Antichrist, you have 119 in reverse full reduction. You also have 232 in English ordinal. You have these other two numbers right here, but these are two numbers I want to concentrate on. 232 and 119. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go here to my cipher. I'm going to go to reverse, and I'm going to go to full reduction, EP. Okay? All right, there we go. Oh, I didn't do it right. Hold on, let me go back here. Just single reduction. There we go. Okay, that's the one I mean. Now that's when you take the H right there. I mean, like, you know, because H when the alphabet is backwards is a 19th letter, and when you reduce it, it's going to go down to 10. It's going down to 1. So in single reduction, the H's are going to be worth 10. So that's why 119 jumps up to 146. So in single reduction, birth of the Antichrist equals 146. That's a pretty good sync right there between 146 years, Jesus Christ backwards 146, the date May 7th, 1873, birth of the Antichrist, all 146. All right, now watch when I do this. When I go and type in Zedekiah's cave. Now what's Zedekiah's cave? That's where I got the date 5/7, 1873. Let me just type it in. We'll take a look at it. If you're not familiar with Zedekiah's cave, I'll show it to you here in a moment. It's in Jerusalem. All right? Okay, now see, it's 119, English ordinal, and it's also 232, reverse ordinal. Go back here to birth of the Antichrist. Full reverse reduction, it's 119. English ordinal, 232. Let me go and enter right there so you can kind of see it on top of it. See? Just like that. All right. Zedekiah's cave, 119, 232 in reverse. That's a pretty good sync right there. But 119, just a review. All right. And we'll talk a little about 119 for a little bit. Okay? Zedekiah's cave, 119. It's an English ordinal. I messed up there. I'll have to fix that. Okay, Star David, All-Seeing Eye, King James Bible, Orthodox, High Priest, Divine Rule, Birthright, Master Plan. All of those have 119 gematria. Like I said, 119 is a number that has preeminence among the Freemasons, Zionist oligarchy. And like I said, that's the people we're talking about here. Relatively small group, but they're a nasty lot. But anyway, 119 is also the 18th number in the parent sequence. Now, I know people are asking, what is the parent sequence? Well, it is a mathematical sequence, very similar to the Fibonacci sequence. Some people call it the Skibonacci sequence. But I'll get into that in another one, but it's well known in mathematics. But the number 119 is the 18th number in the sequence. And 18 is very sacred to Jewish tradition. And like I said, these people, they take sacred knowledge and twist it, into something that's evil and that they can use to manipulate people with, because they know that people, believe it and put their positive emotions in it. You can see my blog post right here. The geography of Zedekiah's cave also matches up, because Jerusalem is on the 31st parallel, right? That matches up with the gematria of cave. It matches up with the gematria of cube. As you know, some of you that know a little bit of my work, cave and cube and the god Pan, all those have very similar gematria, 31 and 13. Pan is the Greek personification of Saturn, the keeper of time, as you can see right here on the blog. So very fitting right there as far as the geography goes. It also happens to match up with the date numerology, because as we go to the date numerology of May 7th, right? Okay, it's 31. Okay, if you flatten out all the numbers, add them at single digits, 31. And if you keep the year, like just, two digits like 18 and 73, there's 18 right there. 119 and the 18th pair number, 18 matches up pretty well with that. But if you do it like that, 103 numerology, okay? You got a 0 and stutter right there, but you can see the 3113 reflection once again in the numerology and the gematria. It's also the 127th day of the year, 127 right here. You can see my cursor. The 31st prime number. So you can see that there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this. I don't think all this is chance because there's a lot of coordination in the dates. So we can see here now. What makes it even even more of a cinch is that, let me go down here a little bit. Solomon, and this is what Zedekiah's cave is also called Solomon's Mines, because see the quality of the limestone there is very good. It's good for building. Tradition says that's where Solomon got the stone for his mines. It matches up perfectly. The date numerology matches up perfectly with the gematria of Solomon. Okay, Solomon's quarries, Zedekiah's cave. We can see how all this works together. Now, while we're on it, I am not a Hebrew scholar by any stretch, but I happen to notice this. It's important, whenever you stack it up with everything else. The word El, which is the old Canaanite word for deity or God, 31 in Hebrew gematria, 30 and 13 in Hebrew ordinal. So you can see that a lot of it really comes together right here. What else can we talk about? While we're here. Let me go down just a little bit. Okay, yeah, let's talk about birth. Okay, you can see right here when I was doing my little decoding here, the word birth in regular English ordinal is 57. Well, the date we're talking about here is May 7th. That's a pretty good matchup symbolically with birth. And May 7th, oh yeah, it's also 33 in a reverse reduction right there. So 33, as we know, is a very important number to Freemasonry. But let's look at the symbolism of birth, 57, and May 7th. Okay, because there's a lot here that's encoded in this date, and we can see that the planning goes back centuries. Okay, all right. Somebody, if some of it was chance, somebody picked up on it very quickly, because in the year 351, going back to the time of the late Roman Empire, there was a Jewish revolt in Palestine against the East Roman authorities, who became soon after that the Byzantines. Okay, this guy named Constantinus Gallus, who was the emperor there. The Jews revolt against that in Palestine. So we can see that the birth of Israel gets caught up in this right here. I know I am not casting aspersions to the Jewish people as a whole by any stretch of the imagination. We're talking about how history and events and numbers are being manipulated by a very small group, Freemasonic, Zionist robots, because they don't really have a soul of their own. They gave that up when they signed on. But let's keep on going here. All right, in 558 in Constantinople, that is today, that is, of course, Istanbul. But at this time right here, it was known as Constantinople. It was the capital of the Byzantine Empire. We're still in the Byzantine Empire. The dome of Hagia Sophia collapses. We're talking about, the possible, collapse of the Dome of the Rock, okay? But in this case, we're talking about Hagia Sophia, which was rebuilt soon after this, but, it's one of the grandest, buildings in all the world. It's known as the Grand Mosque now. But that was, that happened in 558. I almost said BC, but, it happened in 558. It makes you wonder. Now, as we move up the calendar, up in years, look at this right here. The city of New Orleans is founded by Jean-Baptiste Lamian sur de Benneville. I think I got that right. 1718. A city was founded. A birth of a city. Okay? That's on there. You got Robespierre, the butcher of the French Revolution. he takes a fancy to starting, initiating, and giving birth to his own concept of a religion right here, the cult of the supreme being, which thankfully did not last very long. All right, Ludwig Beethoven, he introduced his Ninth Symphony, his last one, in 1824 in this date. So there's a lot of idea of the of birth and initiation and manifesting things into the real world connected with this date. And once again, we're in a cave here because whatever ceremony they had there this evening. Let me let you show that right there. I'll show you what I found on Wikipedia about that. Let me go down here where I have the little blip here. Yeah, here it is. Barry has great importance to Freemasons, but that's not the one. Here's how I found May the 7th, 1873. See, it was the first Masonic lodge in the Holy Land, and they had their first ceremony. Now, there have been Masonic ceremonies before that, but this is the first lodge of the Holy Land. Once again, the idea of rebirth or birth. Mother Lodge, 293, May the 7th, 1873. So, like I said, it is it's a Freemasonic, forcing of the birth of the Antichrist. I'm not saying it's not going to be like it is in the Bible, because this has all been engineered behind the scenes. But you can see where they're taking that symbolism and taking advantage of people's, of their credulousness and their they're not being naive, this sort of thing, and not really knowing, where these signals are coming from. The red heifer, that's come in the news. Last, September 4th that Zach has talked about. All of these things. I mean, like they don't just happen, by chance. There's human beings that are doing this. They're doing this for a reason, and that's why I'm doing this video for you this evening. So I can alert you to a few things that I found out. Plato's Cave. Plato's Cave is very important to philosophy. It's a famous thought experiment of how people come to enlightenment. It has 33 numerology, and I think it also has something to do with the mythology of Zedekiah's cave, because see, Zedekiah was punished by God because he did not listen to him. Let me go to him right here. He did not listen to him through his prophet Jeremiah. And that's why God allowed him to be conquered, by Nebuchadnezzar of the Babylonians. And legend has it that the soldiers made Zedekiah watch his own sons, be murdered. But this is what happened here. He runs to the cave. God sends a buck up along the ledge and everything, and that causes the Nebuchadnezzar soldiers to look on there, and they happen to see Zedekiah running away, so that's when they grab him. But see, it all ends up with him being blinded, okay? In Plato's Cave, the idea of blindness, and spiritual awakening being like a kind of light and seeing, that's both there. I just happened to see this, 37. Something about 37 right there in the story. 37 is very important to this, to this what I'm about talking to, because of star numbers. 37 is a star number, and if you think about 73, 1873, 73 is also a star number. What are star numbers? Let's take a look at that for a moment, because that has something to do with this. We're going to talk about some more symbolism here. Right, see, 37 is a star number, and it looks very similar, to the what people call the Star of David or the hexagram. But this is a centrated figurate number and a centered hexagram. So all these dots represent, a digit right here. So when you count all the digits, right, you got 13. This is what's on the this is on one of the Freemasonic Great Seal of the United States. But see, if you expand it right here. You've expanded it, you go from 13 to 37. Now guess what the next star number is? 73 right here. 73 is the next star number. 121. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. 181. See, these are all star numbers. So it's the idea of a geometrical progression where it expands. And see, this plays into the idea of, of some of the symbolism that this idea of expansion. Because see, watch what happens when I do this here. I found this out. I'm gonna have to go to a Jewish gematria to show you this. Let me go with get these three going here. And I'm gonna turn some of these others off here, just so we can see them. Yeah, let me turn these off. There we go. All right, now we got the Jewish numbers going here. Okay, now, so if we type in star number, we get 43, all right? First star number. Second star number. All right, see, 73 is coming in, and 181's coming in. Let's see what happens here. Third. Oh, I messed up. Third star number. Look at that. It's 173, 181. Four star number. 73 coming through. Fifth star number. It's still coming through. Sixth star number. It's still coming through. Yeah, see, it kind of breaks off at it's still on the same vibration, because 73 is what? It reduces to 10 and then 1. 82 does the same thing. So that's a pretty good run of synchronicity right there. Let's see what we ended up with. All the way from second star number to sixth star number, 73. And I think I read that right. 181, is that a star number? I think it is. Yeah, 181 is a star number too. How about that? Yeah, 181 is a star number. Let's go back here. 181 is a star number. Now here, the first star number is 1, okay? 1 is the first star number. So I don't know why that is, but it just is. Because I guess you got to start somewhere. Now, 193 in reverse, in Jewish ordinal gives you 193. 193 is the 44 prime number. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the Jewish gematria off for now. But I thought you guys want to see that. Now let me go ahead and get my base ciphers going again here. All right. Even when I'm going to show you something about the number 73 in our base ciphers that is calling our attention to this day. When we're typing number equals 73. When you type in numbers, hold on, I might read my notes here just right. Maybe it's in there was something about numbers I meant to show you. Let me go here to, I don't want to leave it there like that. Let me see, what did I meant to show you? Come on, my ciphers here. See, in Jewish reduction it's 33. Numbers is 33 in Jewish reduction. How about that? The fourth book of the Bible. 33 in Jewish reduction. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and go back to my base ciphers. That's what I meant to show you. All right. So number equals 73. Now, what happens when I type in 73 here? I get the number 58. When I type in the word star, I get the number 58 and I get the number 13. 13 Once again, that's our second star number. So you can see that that the symbolism kind of takes us back around to many of the same numbers. Now, 58. Those of you that have been been involved with gematria for a while, you know the importance of this number. I'm gonna see if I can come up with a few syncs for people that are watching, seeing this for the first time. 58. Let's go with Freemasonry. I think has 58 in its. Yes, Freemasonry. Freemasonry. 58. And while we're on that, see, Freemason is 96. If we go back to our original computation here of 146 years, okay, 96 days. All right, 96 days. We can kind of see a signature right here. All right, I'm just saying.